Article 19. You know that what is Article 19? Okay, it is related to freedom of speech and expression. Article 19 is related to freedom of speech and expression. You know that it is a type of fundamental right. But you know, in India, fundamental right is not absolute. I'll not teach you polity, but the basic part here is that the fundamental right is not absolute. There is a reasonable restriction which can be imposed on fundamental rights. So Article 19 has various sub-clause, you can say. So the Article 19(1) say that there is a freedom of speech and expression, but 19(4) say that that can be checked by the government, or you can say the state. The state can put a reasonable restriction on your Article 19, but restriction up to which limit, it is not decided. Okay, sometimes Supreme Court say that if this restriction is not at all valid, so that become unconstitutional. कभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट सपोर्ट कर देता है गवर्नमेंट के उसी रिस्ट्रिक्शन को, कभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट कहता है नहीं नहीं इतने लेवल पे तो आप रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं लगा सकते हैं. So once Article 19 say that is fundamental right, it states that there is a freedom of speech and expression, but that freedom is not beyond that you can say that beyond state. That freedom cannot be bigger than state, because when there will be state, then you are there. Okay, there are the very field marshal of army. He said that first come the country, then come the society, and then come family, and then if life something left, it comes to me. Okay, so always state should given priority. There should not be like that state should not be given priority. So still the fundamental right is also a supreme. So we are going to discuss a lot of fundamental right, that is Article 19 in today's news. That is World Freedom Index. What are the restrictions government can impose on freedom? So that we are going to study here. Then next, SC reverse past order. Okay, in this section you are going to study about UAPA. There are law UAPA, and under this law, if you are member of any organization that has been imposed UAPA, मतलब सपोज आप ये सोचिए कि आप किसी मेंबर्स हैं किसी एक नंबर, मान लीजिए कि एक्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, and you are member of that organization, and if UAPA is imposed on that organization, you are also culprit because your organization is imposed with UAPA. What Supreme Court earlier verdict was that if you are a member, mere a member, so that does not make you criminal. Suppose if I am a member of Alpha or Ulfa like that, and I have not done any type of killing or I have not done anything, so I should be a you can say saint, but it's not work like that. If you belongs to an organization who is doing this such type of terrorism activity, you are also a criminal. So earlier verdict was Supreme Court was different, and this time Supreme Court reverses verdict. So this we are going to read in detail. Next is internet shutdown. You people are so many, I can see that student has joined online with me, and suppose your internet is cut down. Even just past 7 days before, in the state of Punjab, due to Khalistani movement, you know that the state was shut down for some 7 days or something like that, 4 or 5 days, I think. Even in Kashmir, it was shut down for 126 days, sometime 116 days. So you know that internet nowadays is a vital part of our life. So it is a part and parcel. Every time, suppose if I am coming in metro, I start reading something. So there you need internet. And as government is also focus on that we should improve connectivity. And in such scenario, if internet is cut down, so you can understand that even Supreme Court was inclined that this internet should comes under Article 21, that is right to life also. But it's a you can say oral means oral observations. It is not under law still. But yeah, this is in the news because recently Punjab government has cut down internet, so that's why it is in the news. Next is water sage. You know that government imposed various type of sage. What is sage means? Extra tax, you can say simple, to achieve some goal. Suppose if we want that kisan, you know that so lots of farmer suicide every day. Suppose we done that whatever we purchase, there should be a farmer sage. So what it does mean that whatever amount is collected through that would be given to the farmer. Why it is in the news? Recently, Himachal government had you can say imposed water sage. So that's why it is in the news, and why it has imposed that we will read in detail. Next is heat index. You all are going to suffer who are still in Delhi, our institute in Delhi, and lots of students coming offline. So they will feel this heat. And what is heat index we are going to study in the topic. Next is New Warsaw Pact. We'll see that it is related to Russia, and we will read in detail. Next is Tamil Samagam. You know that Tamil literature Samagam, lot of music and literature festival held. So that is related to that. So these are the important news which we are going to cover in today's session. So let's start with our first news, that is World Press Freedom Index. Okay, so first of all, why it is in the news? Because India's rank, you can say, down to 150. Last year, same index, India was 142nd. Okay, now it is at 150. Out of how many countries? 180 countries. So out of 180 countries, in Press Freedom Index, India ranked 150, and last year it was 142. It means that it has, you can say that freedom has been more, there is less freedom for media and all. Now try to understand the situation. You can read all this, but before going to reading and all, just I would like to explain you why such scenario arises, why there is a crisis, you can say, in media. You know that you say media is the fourth pillar of democracy, where legislative make the law, executive implement those law, and judiciary check that the law that is implemented is correct. When media comes, it is their role that correct information given to the public. But you all, whosoever is joined in today's session, might be aware that whatever is going on in the prime time, you open any channel at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. There are a lot of hatred going on. Hindu-Muslim debate is going on. Some Maulana is sitting. Some even they are arranging someone from Pakistan to. Is all that, all issues in India is died, so that we are discussing on all those issues. All nonsense is going on. Means you can say that discussion is going on in the media panelists. So such scenario will always lead to loss in credibility of media. But we have to understand why such scenario happens. Why that media credibility is going on. Media क्यों खराब हो रहा है? There are 4-5 reasons for that. First one is political involvement. Lot of media houses, or even you can say that almost all media houses are either of political party or either by some of his you can say the associate. So like you can say that News 18, it is from Reliance. You can say that NDTV, it is of Adani. So you need not write any name in the exams, but you can simply write that lots of corporate and political parties are controlling the media. So they want to show the news which is in their benefits, whatever will fetch them vote, जो उनको वोट देगा, जिससे कि उनको चुनाव में वोट मिलेगा, such type of news they will try to show you, and due to that the good quality of news you are not going to witness. So that's the reason. Second part is that advertisement. You know that whenever you watch any channel, after some time they take break. So in the break they show advertisement, and sometimes most of the advertisement is related to government. Suppose if Modi government is there, so Modi government is giving so many advertisement to Aaj Tak or any other channel like that. So that advertisement, if you say, is cost, that means the government bear the cost of those advertisement. Even if you have read recent news, there was a very historical, you can say, happened in Delhi budget. It was stopped by the central government. You can imagine, the budget was stopped by a state budget, was stopped by central government. And why it was stopped? Because Delhi government had kept 500 crore rupees for advertisement purpose. So lots of state government is spending lots of money on advertisement, and if state government or central government spend money on advertisement, those money whom they gave to the media. So if you are giving media to the money to the media, so they will obey you. So this was the reason why you can say that credibility is decreasing. Then again you can say that media houses is trying the honor of the media houses. They lure for the Raj Sabha membership, or you can say even sometime for the Lok Sabha. Lot of media houses members are still sitting in the house. You know about Subhash Chandra G honors. So lots of there who are doing this. Even in America, you can say that lot of media directly have question to their president. Lot of news you might have seen that where Joe Biden is directly crossed by the media, that you have done this recently. अभी एक न्यूज मैंने देखा था जिसमें कि डायरेक्टली जो बिडेन से पूछता है कि so many people of the army has been killed and he was an army veteran who becomes news reporter. So all this scenario led to the reduce in the ranking of media credibility, and that's why we are lower in World Freedom Index. That is, you can imagine out of 180 countries we are at 150. Now, why it is in the news? Because recently, Information and Broadcasting Minister, that is Anurag Thakur, has stated that this ranking is a fraud. Generally, you might be aware, whatever ranking is released by the organization, we generally say that it is a fraud because we see that it is not transparent, or the parameter used by these agencies is generally Western parameters. Okay, it is not according to the Asian countries parameters like that. So we give so many excuses, and we generally make this index or anything, like even if it is released by World Bank Poverty Index, we say that, oh no, it is wrong, it is not according to India. Even World Economic Forum, so many index there, we say that no, it is wrong. So simply in this index also, what Anurag Thakur said, it is wrong, it is not right. Transparency was not followed. World democracy has not kept in the mind. We in India, there is a lot of freedom for press. So everything we state that, and we try to justify that our freedom index is okay. If you want to ask anything, otherwise, can you kindly unmute yourself? Mute yourself. Just a second. Okay, so this was all about World Freedom Index. So 2 to 3 points you have to remember in this: India's ranking. So that can be asked you in the form of MCQ. Second point you have to remember in this, that India government is denying this. And third point, why this index is going down. In mains, it can be asked to you that it is a sad state of affair that World Freedom Index we ranked at 150. Write your views about media and all. In that, you have to balance everything. You have to write everything, why we are going down and how this ranking is not according to our, you can say, need and all. So everything you have to write. So this was all about World Freedom Index. You can read here whatever written in this: the government policy and intervention for development in various sectors, issues arising out of their design and implementation. Okay. The most important point, which organization which released this is Reporter Sans Frontier. It is RSF. RSF is the organization who released this report. Reporter Sans Frontier is the organization, or even we say that Reporter Without Border. This you have to remember. Okay, remember, in first session I have said you that whatever report is released by World Bank, whatever report released by World Economic Forum or any other organization, in that you have always to note it down which organization released that report, what are the parameters on which that report is released, so that it can be UPSC generally asks such type of question. If you see the ranking part, there is a 180 country in that. Okay, and if you see the ranking of India, you can see here India is at 150th position, and last year India is you can say 142nd. So this was you can say in the second graph, this point you can say top, if it is Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Estonia, and Finland. Generally, Scandinavian country always remains in top of any ranking, be it be happiness index or anything like that. Okay, even somewhere like Myanmar, Turkmenistan, Iran, these are some of the Arabic countries, you can say, where there is a democracy in failure or people are protesting. So there also freedom index is going down. Okay. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is India's ranking with respect to its BRICS groupings and other regional groupings is also important?
Yeah, they will not ask you a direct question about BRICS reporting and all. But if you read those that you can say you are asking about comparison part about BRICS and all.
Yes,
but
yes,
India is lower than that. Even in China is higher in ranking. Okay, if you see that is Iran, North Korea, these are only because hardly 30 countries left after that 150. So if you talk,
sir, which regional grouping comparison should be preferred? Like BRICS is only BRICS.
I would say ASEAN. If you like to compare it with, you can compare it with ASEAN.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, moving to the next. So these were the regions what Indian government is giving, that why ranking is low. The first reason it gave is low sample size. The first given that the sample size picked by the organization is very low, so that's why our ranking is down. Second is little or no weightage to fundamental of democracy. We generally say, आप सब अभी अमृत काल के समय में है. We generally say we living in अमृत काल. तो जो भी अमृत पुरुष सुन रहे हैं मुझे, तो अमृत काल, and in that we say that our fundamental of democracy is very strong, and in such scenarios if that is not kept in the mind, so that ranking is wrong. Next is adoption of methodology, which is questionable. So which generally whatever I have said, that they adopt a Western methodology which is not insuitable in Asian countries or something like that. Okay, then non-transparent. It is there is not transparency. To whom they asked, or what are their survey, where their what the method they have adopted, so that is not there. So these are the point put by Indian government to prove that agency who is doing this type of survey is wrong. Basically, India is trying to say that we are giving freedom to the press. Second part, you can say that even Indian central government has said that this is not in our hand. This is generally a state subject. Controlling police and media. So if something is happening like that, where media is checked and all, this is done by the you can say provincial government, that is Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, or like that. We have seen so many cases where Supreme Court has released journalists on the bail or even freed them when government has arrested. Like even Hathras rape case, there is a Siddharth Kampan, a Kerala journalist who was arrested and recently released on the bail, or you can say acquitted. Even that Muhammad Zubair, who was arrested, he was a fact checker of social media. He was arrested by the government, and within one day only Supreme Court granted him bail. Even Arnab Goswami, your famous case of Maharashtra government, he was arrested. Then he approached Supreme Court under fundamental rights, and he was released. So, sir, there are so many examples where journalists have been arrested by the government and it was released on bail or either completely freed. So this shows that the state is trying to suppress the you can say voice of the people. If sometimes some journalist is trying to do their job with utmost transparency and all. So this was our first news. Details will be sent to you all. With this file will be shared with you, so you can read all the details. The summary was this news was this only. Okay. You can see about Article 19, which I have already explained you, and then Article 19(2), state has empowered the impose reasonable restrictions on the operation of right of interest. There's a very simple questions which generally polity asks, that is, fundamental right is not absolute. Okay, a reasonable restriction can be imposed on that. Explain this. So this you have to write in the main, so that you can write. Okay, so everything rest is written here. Next is SC reverse past order. Okay, so this was related to UAPA. I have already explained you in the beginning that in the UAPA, if you belongs to the member of an organization, you are also means held to be the criminal. Now this rule is there. Earlier, what SC has said, earlier ruling, you can read it here. Mere membership of a banned organization will not incriminate a person under the unlawful activities and terrorist and disruptive activities. That means simple, कि mere membership will not held you liable for UAPA. Okay, this was earlier judgment of Supreme Court, but this judgment was referred to higher bench, and now higher bench judgment had come, and it has said that even if you have a membership of organization which have been you can say enforced with UAPA, you will be also be tried under same that. So which was the case which on which Supreme Court has given this verdict? You can read about UAPA. It is had as a death penalty, and you can see here that the government has an absolute power in this. Okay, a government can detain you, can even court can give you death punishment. Okay, if any type of unlawful activity such as terrorism activity or Naxal activities, something like that, all comes under this. So generally, like if you see the case of Punjab, recently UAPA and NSA both have been imposed on that Amrit Pal supporter. So this in the news. Moving to the okay, yeah, this was a background. You can read this. Yes, it was the case of Indra Das versus. Okay, It was a case of Indra Das versus State of Assam, where this was the person, Arup Boyar. You can see suspected a member of Alpha. He was a member of Ulfa, you can say, your terrorist organization that was operating in Assam, that side. So this Ulfa was banned and invoked UAPA. So this person who was a member of this organization, he was also tried under that, but he stated in Supreme Court that although I was member of this organization, but I have not committed any crime, so I should be not tried under UAPA. So this was his point, and at that time Supreme Court also agreed on this. You can see that similar opinion. Court also expressed the similar opinion. But in 2014, two judge bench forwarded this to higher bench of Supreme Court, as Assam government and central government both appealed in the court. So Assam government and central government both appealed in the court regarding this verdict, and finally, you can say the last week a verdict has come, and it stated that if you are a member of any organization that is banned in India, you also can be tried under UAPA. So this was in the news. Okay, you again, freedom of association, it comes under Article 19. You can form any association in India, but that association should not be any terrorist organization or something like that. So you have a right to form association groups and something like that, but it's there is a reasonable restriction that can be imposed on that organization. So government is doing that. Again, it is related to more or less Article 19 only, but a different news. Okay, moving to the next, it is about internet shutdown. Again, this news is also, you can say, related to fundamental right or something like Article 19 only. So Article 19 and 21, lot of Article 19 and 21 news is today in today's section. So government policy and intervention in development. Okay, why we are saying that it is a intervention in development? You know that lots of factory. I just, when I was giving you the briefing, just I have talked about only about that internet shutdown will lead to the your education also. Suppose if you are reading, suppose even we as an organization right now I am teaching, or some recording is going to be sent to you. So all things will be hampered. So it not only hamper the educational activity, it also hamper the, you can say that, marketing activity, or you can say economic activity. So internet shutdown is impacting on the development. So this was in the news. So there was some scholars who was in the view that internet should never be shut down, but government in the view that due to controlling law and order, we have to do this and we have to take this step. As nowadays, you know that the false information travel very fastly. जो गलत न्यूज होता है, जो भ्रामक न्यूज होता है, वो बहुत जल्दी अलग अलग लोगों तक पहुंचा दिया जाता है. ऐसे में क्या इंटरनेट शट डाउन होना चाहिए? अभी कई सारे लोग हैं मेरे साथ जो कि ऑनलाइन आप लोग जुड़े हुए हैं. अगर मैं एक लाइन के लिए अभी बोल दूं कि सपोज इंटरनेट शट डाउन हो जाए, तो मैं सिर्फ ऑफलाइन के बच्चों को पढ़ा पाऊंगा. आई वुड ओनली बी एबल टू टीच द स्टूडेंट सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. So that is not the justice now. So even if you can say that even if an organization like us, we would be also in economic loss. So think of a situation, a marketing company or technology giant company who just working on this internet only. So if their internet is cut down for 7 days, there may be the loss of crores in that. So this was a point put forward by so many agencies, and even a way forward is that there should be a mechanism where a social media should be stopped. But that should be banned in that state. Suppose if Rajasthan is planning to ban internet. So what it should do that it can ban Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp and all, but rest of the internet where education is going on, where company is working, so that should work with smoothly. So that should not be stopped. Right now, what is going on? What even a state impose any restriction, complete internet shutdown. No one can use internet because there is no other alternative. So government should devise such alternative that social media site which is used for spreading false news, that should be banned or that should stop, not the complete internet. So this was in the news. You can see that suspension of mobile internet by the Punjab government. I have already said there was a person called Amrit Pal, and he was doing some Khalistani. You know that Punjab had, in previous classes I have also discussed that Punjab ने बहुत झेला है. Partitions से he partitions, only from partition time only Punjab is facing this type of threat and the struggle from this Khalistani movement, and some during partition also they face so many you can say struggle. So we do not want Punjab should burn again or some struggle they should face again. So to check all that, the government had means you can say that imposed internet shutdown there. You can say this graph, if you are able to see that in Rajasthan for 8 days, 121 days for Kargil, Ladakh, it is still ongoing. In Jammu and Kashmir, some part of Jammu Kashmir still is without internet. So these all, but what we do generally, state, why did the state do such thing? To make to maintain state sovereignty. If suppose Jammu Kashmir is given internet and so many terrorists are entering due to that, or some activities, unlawful activity, or state sovereignty is in danger, so we all do not want that. So we have to find alternatives in simple way that all the educational institute, marketing institute, such type of system should work, and social media and other useless things can be stopped, so that both can work together. It does not hamper the economic development. कहने का मतलब है कि विकास को भी बाधक ना बने और साथ में जो है गवर्नमेंट स्टेट सोवर्निटी को भी मेंटेन करे. So government has to maintain a balance or work in a such a scenario. So that was about internet shutdown. Nothing major to discuss in this. Yes, UPSC can ask a direct mains question on that. What is your view in this? So there you have to explain the fundamental right, that it is a people's fundamental life of freedom of speech and expression. So government can curb that, and government should take a mid path, madhyam marg jo कहते हैं Buddhism में. So government should adopt a Buddhism mark. Okay, so there is a case of Anuradha Bhasin versus Union of India, and the shutdown do not violate Article 19 of Indian Constitution. So this was stated by Supreme Court. There is an oral observation that it should comes under right to privacy, but it is still not. It acts as a reasonable restriction. So simple, we already said that fundamental right is not absolute. Government can expose reasonable restriction. Certain balancing tests should be carried out, and only if extremely necessary, the government should proceed with the extreme restrictive step. So this was you can say the point of Supreme Court. In extreme case only, government should ban internet or something like that. Otherwise, government should take the mid path, and so that economic activity is not hampered. Impact of internet shutdown, economic activity, we have already said that. Educations, we have discussed that. On access to health and immunity, lot of you are using Practo, lot of doctor appointment going through video call. Doctors see your report on video call and give you the correct medicine. So this all can be stopped if internet is shut down. Okay. So argument in internet shutdown favoring, the argument which favor public safety, we have already said the state sovereignty is supreme. Then national security, prevent cybercrime, control dissent, and preventing election fraud. Sometime during election also 144 is important. Internet is shut down in those areas so that the free and fair election can be conducted. What are the argument in against of that? Violation of freedom of expression, that is Article 19, speech and expression. Then economic impact, which I have already discussed. Hindrance to emergency, limiting access to the information. Access to the information is our fundamental right. Even we talk about governance, or you can say that susasan, जिसको हम बोलते हैं susasan. So susasan, that is governance, good governance. There also access to information is a prime, but if it is not offered to you, it is wrong. Technological regression, technology is cut down for you. So these are the point, both favor and against. So when you're writing the mains, you can write favor and against, and then what are the way forward. Okay. So internet shutdown may only be used as last resort. The first point is that way forward. Government should not document the region, time, and alternative. Consider decision-making authorities and rules under which shutdowns were imposed, and release document for public scrutiny. So all this can be done. Moving to the topic next, water sage. First of all, we should know why it is in the news. Recently, Himachal government, there is a company conducting hydropower plant in Himachal, and Himachal government has imposed water sage on that. So what is the duty of Himachal government? Why they are collecting water sage? That is, government is saying that we will use this for economic welfare, or you can say that social welfare. So this sage will be used by the Himachal government as social welfare. So that's why it is imposed. In this topic, we are also going to read about surcharge. There is a difference between sage and surcharge. Anyone in the class who can explain me that what is the difference between sage and surcharge? There is a term surcharge, there is a term sage. What is the difference between these two? If surcharge is imposed, or if sage is imposed? Anyone there can explain me this?
So cess can be for the specified purpose and it is credited to the specified fund. Whereas surcharge is additional if someone is having excessive amount who can pay the additional cost. So surcharge can be applied.
Great. I would explain what she said. She said that water sage is for a specified purpose. Suppose government is saying that whatever I have explained in the beginning only, that if a government is saying that farmer is dying, so we need to collect farmer sage. So that amount, what would be extra amount collected from this sage, will only be spent for the farmer only. Okay. Whereas surcharge, if it's some just an extra tax. Suppose if a person is earning more than 50 lakh, okay, so he should give government more because he has something extra, so he should contribute more in the development of the nation. So government, you can say, impose surcharge on them, and that amount which is collected as a surcharge can be spent for any purpose, not required for any specific purpose. जरूरी नहीं कि उसी काम के लिए यूज किया जाए. ये सिंपल टैक्स है जो कि कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया में चला जाएगा और उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट की मर्जी है वो जैसे भी यूज करना चाहे. बट शेष गवर्नमेंट उसी तरह से यूज करेगा जिस पर्पज के लिए इसको लगाया है. मतलब द पर्पज फॉर विच गवर्नमेंट हैज इम्पोज्ड दिस अमाउंट, government can only use for that purpose. Suppose if Himachal government has imposed this amount for social welfare, the Himachal government will only use for that purpose only. In case Himachal government has imposed surcharge, so those who are giving that surcharge, or those who are coming under those category, that amount can be used for any purpose. So this was a major difference. Good. What is your name? Who has explained this?
Sir, Alankrit.
Okay, good, great. Moving to the this topic, case step Himachal Pradesh government decision to impose a sage on hydel project and raise an estimated about 4,000 crore is seen as a regressive, particularly hurting small project and players and dampening the government's efforts toward the hydro push. Okay, so it was some negative aspect was covered under this, that this will create a hindrance in hydropower product. But I think it should be done because you might be aware of Uttarakhand project. There was a project by NTPC in Uttarakhand, and due to that only there was Chamoli and those areas, there was landslide, and you can say that there is a crack in the houses and all. If amount would have been collected, that can be used for rebuilding their houses or can rehabilitation. So what Himachal government is doing maybe can be seen at regressive step, but if they are using for social welfare, it can be termed as a positive step also. So same water says refers to a tax levied under the water. Okay. 1970 and consumed by the person operating and carrying on certain types of industrial activity. So on those it can carry. More instance, this sage is levied on the water consumed by some of the most polluting industries like petrochemicals. So when they are consuming water, they are polluting also water. So the sage can be introduced on that. Surcharge is a tax levied by the government on top of the regular rate. So surcharge is just simply regular tax plus extra tax. Okay, it is a similar to a sage, but there are some different on this, which we are going to read or we have already studied that. You can see the difference. If you want to note it down, this will be given to you. So the same difference we have explained or we have discussed, same it is written here also. Okay, moving to the next. Why Himachal government decided to import a sage? So all news about this only. The decision to impose a sage was made to generate a revenue for the state government and to compensate for the environment caused by the hydropower project. So simple, government is generating this, or government is imposing this sage because it want to collect extra amount so that can compensate environment damage caused by hydroelectricity or hydroelectric power. Okay, the revenue generated from the sage was proposed for use for the development of infrastructure and social welfare in the state. So this will be the whatever amount will be collected can be only used for this purpose only, not any other purpose. Okay. Additionally, the state government had also proposed the use of the fund to compensate people affected by the hydropower project to promote renewable energy sources. So this was in the news. Okay, so this you can a small article is given that it is a sovereignty of a state, that a state can impose taxes on its natural resources. So that's why Himachal government have installed. Although this sovereignty can be checked by the central government. Central government had power, but most of the time the mineral resource or natural resource comes under the state subject. Okay, moving to the next. It is about heat index. what we are going to study in this and why it is in the news. Okay, there are two things, दो चीजें हैं. एक होता है टेम्परेचर ज्यादा होना. सपोज मान लो कि टेम्परेचर 40 डिग्री या 55 डिग्री सेल्सियस है, तो we generally say that it is too hot. But what happens, even if temperature is 34 degree or 35 degree, but humidity is very high, then also you feel heat. So what earlier the index which we have, only the according to temperature they are releasing whether it is hot or not. But now they will consider humidity also. So that's why it is in the news. You can see it here. The Indian Meteorological Department is planning to introduce heat index warning system in Delhi and other part of the country. You know that Delhi is very humid, and reason for its humidity is it is surrounded by the land from all four sides. Okay, heat index will be calculated temperature along with the humidity levels also. So earlier only temperature was calculated, now humidity levels will also be contributing. So simple point is that heat index is a type of index which include temperature plus humidity. This only you have to understand in this topic, nothing else, nothing much. Okay, so this will be released. When it will be released, then you can see the index. Okay, need of heat index. What is the need of? The method which heat effect is complex according to hot weather analysis. So it results from interactions between temperature, radiations, wind and humidity. So lot of factor which is responsible for heat. So all factor must contribute, or all factor must include before giving any heat index or releasing any heat index. So this was in the news. You can read about detail what is heat wave all and why Delhi is facing heat wave. So this everything explained in the detail for you to read or for the exam purpose. For the news or current affair, you have to only understood this much, that heat index is a type of index which is going to be released by IMD, and it will include humidity plus temperature. Okay, so that much only. New, the Warsaw Pact. Okay, so anyone can explain the difference between NATO and Warsaw? Then I will move to the news. This was an old news of old topic. NATO and Warsaw. IR topic is this international relation. You might have studied this. So anyone can explain me this? What is this? Warsaw is a place in which cities? कौन सी जगह का जगह है ये? वारसा कहाँ का place है? Anyone can explain me this?
Poland, sir.
Yeah, great, Poland. So what was Warsaw and what was NATO? Also explain that, please.
The NATO was formed after a Cold War, and Warsaw Pact was, it was formulated after World War I, I guess. Not sure about that.
No, though both are formed same time only. Don't just a difference of year only. Okay. See, simple thing is that after Second World War, when सब मार काट के समझ आ गया कि नहीं अब हम साथ रहेंगे, so it was just like we will live together. So there are the two supreme power. One is USA and another one is USSR. So this was a two supreme power. So along these two supreme power, other country according means going either means कोई इनके साथ चला गया और कोई इसके साथ चला गया. The country which goes with USA called NATO, themselves NATO, and the country which goes with USSR called themselves Warsaw. Why it is in the news now? Because you know that there is a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. You know that earlier Ukraine was an integral part of USSR. Now since Ukraine trying to be the part of NATO, so that way there is a war between those. Russia never wanted that Ukraine goes towards America. Otherwise, that USA will control the, you can say, the democracy, or you can say the complete polity of Russia and all. So it was a fear in Russia. So therefore, that's why Russia attacked on Ukraine. So this was a means Russia-Ukraine war, which you might have studied. Russia-Ukraine के बारे में आपने already पढ़ा होगा. Coming to the Warsaw, it was established in 1955. The old Warsaw Pact, when Russia formed union with different countries and make USSR. That is which got disintegrated in 1991. Okay, so USSR disintegrated in 1991. So according to Warsaw Pact, so many countries joined USSR in 1955, and this disintegrated in 1991. Even Ukraine was disintegrated, and then only Russia left. But NATO is still there, and NATO, the member of NATO is with USA only. So why it is in the news? News because since dictatorial attitude of Russia, for so many countries which were earlier with the Warsaw to form a new union. so that even if Russia trying to attack on them, as Russia attack on Ukraine, right? So Ukraine earlier was alone only. Now complete NATO country is supporting Ukraine. You might have seen in the news that British Prime Minister visited, and so many so for Australian you can say even American President visited there. So many countries supporting Ukraine. So what is going on this? Why we are calling new Warsaw Pact? हो क्या रहा है? New Warsaw Pact हम क्यों कर रहे हैं? That some of the country which was member of old Warsaw Pact, that is member of USSR, now trying to come together फॉर देयर सेफ्टी. वो अब ये सोच रहे हैं कि रशिया ने जैसे यूक्रेन को अटैक किया, क्योंकि यूक्रेन भी जो था पहले यूएसएसआर का पार्ट था, तो हम पे भी अटैक कर सकता है. तो व्हाई वी शुड नॉट प्रिपेयर अर्लियर ओनली. सो व्हिच आर दोज कंट्री व्हिच आर गोइंग टू रीड. ओके, so you can see that last week the chief of Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden agree to integrate air defense to counter Russian threat. Okay, so these countries coming together is called we are calling it as a new Warsaw Pact. So coming of these countries together is termed as a new Warsaw Pact. Why it is called as a new Warsaw Pact? Because Warsaw Pact was first signed by Russia when USSR was formed. Now when this pact is this country is coming together against Russia, so it is called as a new Warsaw Pact. Simple term in IR. In IR you will read about detail what is Cold War, why Russia and USA was in Cold War, what is Cuba missile crisis. So everything detail you can read in IR part. But here in the current affair news, it is called new Warsaw Pact because these are the country who is coming together for their safeguard against Russia, because they have a threat that since Russia has attacked on Ukraine, so Russia can attack on us also. So their chief or air chief coming together for a better warfare technology or planning, you can say that. So this was in the news. You can see that Nordic moved about coping with a heightened sense of insecurity in Northern Europe after Russian invasion in Ukraine. Okay, so the emerging security arrangement are being called new Warsaw Pact. So this emerging security amendment is called new Warsaw Pact. And the geopolitical arc of Central Europe has come full circle, and the new Warsaw Pact points its weapon towards an opposition to Russian revision. So this was in the news. What was old Warsaw Pact? This was in 1955, and which was the country at that time? Soviet Union. Everything I have explained you already. Okay, NATO also, difference between NATO and Russia, both has been explained. Means details you can read in international relations, which is your core subject. Next, last topic of today is Tamil Sangamam. It is government to organize Tamil Sangamam in Saurashtra and Uttarakhand. You know that to protect our cultures, different cultures and languages, government do so many activities. So this was to protect a Tamil literature, you can say. This Samagam is organized by the government in where it is in Saurashtra, that is in Gujarat, and it is in Uttarakhand. Okay, the Tamil where assembly of gathering of Tamil poet and scholar that were held in ancient Tamil Nadu between पहले भी ये होता था जब राजा महाराजा का समय था. In art and culture you read about Tamil literature, there you read about this Samagam and all. So now it is promoted by the government. So nothing much to read in that. They may ask that what is Tamil Samagam. It is just a gathering of Tamil poet, Tamil literature to show the or to showcase the in you can say that greatness of Tamil languages and all. So this was in the news. So that's all for previous week news. I have tried to summarize only those news which is good for UPSC, or you can say important news, 6-7 important news. Next week again, for this week I will come with the news for the next week. Now what I am going to do after just 2 to 3 minutes, I am going to discuss some 20 MCQ which would be from the month of October 2022. It is not as it is not like it will not be important for those who are giving in 2024. For them also it is important. UPSC is not saying that you have to read only 1 year current affair. So be with us and we will discuss question one by one. If someone want to participate, it will be it would always be good for me if they are trying to answer the question. So we will discuss 20 MCQ, and where it is needed I will explain that topic also. So just give me 2 minutes. Okay, we will start. Okay, so let's start with our first question. Okay, the first question state here, with reference to monetary policy, consider the following statement. The first statement is that Union Finance Minister is the chairperson, and the second statement, the decision of the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee, are taken on the basis of majority, with the governor having casting vote in the case of a tie. So what would be the right answer? Anyone who will solve with me this question, or who are appearing for 2023? Anyone is there who can explain me or just tell me the answer? Okay, since no one is answering, so let me explain you. What first of all we have to study, what we have to understand what is Monetary Policy Committee. It is a committee which is formed to temper the inflation. If inflation is going on or inflation is going on, so to control that, to check that this policy is formed. You know that inflation can be only controlled by two ways. Either you take money out of the market, or you can say flood market with the money. So depend on the situation, which situation arises. If it is required to money to be put in the market, you have to put the money in the market, or you have to suck the money from the market. So government adopt these two type of policy. If government trying to take back money from the market, okay, then government will reduce, like government will increase bank rate, repo rate, LSR. So these term you can study in the economics. What is bank rate? Or you can visit our previous videos of current affair only. I have explained everything. What is bank rate? What is SLR? What is repo rate? What is MSF? Everything was means explained in that. I'm not going in detail today, but just simple term we have to understand that Monetary Policy Committee, what they do, they generally control the inflation. How? They just reduce the money inflation in the market, so money flow in the market. The first option here, the Union Finance Minister is the chairperson, is the wrong. The RBI. Okay, so RBI governor, the chairperson. RBI governor is the chairperson. So it was the wrong. Okay. Next is the decision of this. So this one is the right. So only two. So two only is the right. Moving to the next question. Okay, so those who will get the PDF then can read in details. Okay, I have explained in the simple term. You can read in the details. Get the PDF from Sanjay if you are not getting that. Which of the following is our core industry? Okay, you know that there are 8 core industry in India. Anyone can tell me the name of 8 core industry in India? We have options: crude oil, natural gas, and coal. So these all are core industry. So the first 3 is these. Anyone can tell me other 5 industry which are core industry? Okay, refinery product. Next is refinery product. Cement. Anyone else can explain? Or electricity. Fertilizers. And last is steel. So these are 8. 3 to 5 I have written, and these 3. So these mainly contribute in the GDP. So that's why we call them the 8 core industries of India. So question asked here is that which are the core industries? So all are the right answer in this. Okay. So this type of question is asked by UPSC. Okay. So you can note it down. Okay. Now the next question is about Jurong rover. Rover is a wanderer. The meaning of rover means wanderer. And the question asked here is, Jovan rover has peered under the surface of Mars and has found evidence of 2 huge flood-shaped landscape. And Jurong rover is an initiative of which country? So it is a space initiative. And where it was sent, can anyone tell me? The correct answer is China. And this has been sent on Mars. This Zhuang river has been sent on Mars rover, and there it has discovered that the Mars plane has been has faced 2 huge flood and shaped the landscape. So this was explained about Mars. So first you have to understand it is the China mission on Mars. China mission on Mars. And there it has discovered something which is religion. China mission on Mars. So the correct answer would be China. Moving to the next question. Anti-Semitism recently seen in the news is related to, question asked is anti-Semitism related against the or it is asked that related to any form of prejudice against the Jewish people, the first option. Unilateral act of a state through which it proclaims its sovereignty over the territory of another state, hatred and prejudice against the religion of Islam, movement for the self-determination of statehood for the Jewish people. Okay, the first one is the correct. Any form of against Jewish people. This term was introduced by Hitler at that time, and whole Europe was talking in the same language at that 1880s. Okay, now so the same term it is asked in the questions. Okay, if you see the explanation part, anti-Semitism refer to any form of prejudice against the Jewish people. Hence, the statement 1 is correct. The term anti-Semitism was coined by 1879 by German agitator Wilhelm Marr to designate the anti-Jewish campaign in Central Europe. You might have studied the famous gas chamber of Hitler and all. And the term itself is a that you can just designate language group, not a race. So anti-Semitism can also describe prejudice against the speaker of the Semitic language. So this was related to hatred against Jews. You know the famous Hitler and all, everything under that. Okay, moving to the next topic, again a topic of polity. Consider the following statement. Under Article 340 of the Constitution, the President may specify the caste, race, or tribe. Okay, the next option here is the Article 341 provide the appointment of a commission to investigate the. Okay, so what here it is just a reverse. This the Article 340, that means this explain this and this explain this. That is Article 340 said that appointment of commission to investigate the conditions of backward classes. So backward classes conditions comes under Article 340. This will go to this. I mean, reverse, the explanation is reversed in this. Means whatever explanation is given to Article 340 will be the explanation of Article 341, and whatever the article explanation is given to Article 340 will be the explanation of article opposite of that. So neither one, neither two. So both are incorrect, as it was a reverse explanation. You can read here Article 340 of the Constitution what it stated and Article 340 what it stated. Such type of question is going to ask in the UPSC. Generally UPSC do not ask article based question, but in case it asks article based question, the confusing article they can ask, like 340, 341. So it is a confusing article. So they may ask that which is related to which. Sometimes they ask about CAG and Attorney General. You know that Attorney General under which article and CAG under which article. So this they can ask. Okay, like 76 is article related to Attorney General and 148 article is related to CAG. So they will reverse. They will say that 148 is related to Attorney General and 76 is related to CAG. So they will reverse you to just check the knowledge whether you have read both the topic or not. So similar way they have checked you your knowledge here. Okay. Moving to the next, with reference to the engineering, procurement and construction, consider the following statement. It is a type of public funding model. Correct. It is a type of public funding model. Next is, in this type of a model, full freedom to plan, design and construction is given to the private contractor and core. Yeah, both 1 and 2 is correct. A lot of Western countries are operating on this model only. Okay, so India is also adopting this. Okay, only one word is missing, M. Okay, it should be EPMC. Some of the model operate on this EPMC and some of the model operate on EPC. What M stands for? Management. Okay, so if you adopt EPC model, it will be engineering, procurement and construction. And if you adopt EPMC model, it will be management also included in that. In EPC model, who will do management? You will do management or government will do management. Okay, or whosoever is adopting this model, they will be responsible for only management and rest will be done by the company. Okay, so EPC model is adopted in the Western country where only management work is looked into, rest other all works is done by the company. So both 1 and 2 is the correct option. Moving to the next, with respect to stubble burning. Okay, so since in winter, you know that complete city or the capital city get choked. हम पूरी तरह से जो है प्रदूषण के जकड़ में आ जाते हैं जब विंटर आती है, एंड उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है दिस स्टबल बर्निंग. व्हाट इज स्टबल बर्निंग? You know that after paddy, the portion is left in the field which cannot be cut, or you cannot say which cannot be harvested. That part is called this stubble. So in Punjab and Haryana, these two are agriculture, you can say great state. So they generally do stubble burning, and after those stubble burning, the pollution in air rises and it reaches to Delhi and every other cities, or you can say that there is a AQI index, you might have read about that, goes very poor or low. So it is asking that which of this is incorrect. So question is stubble burning is reduced soil fertility? Yeah, it is correct. Stubble burning cause increase in moisture of the soil? No, it decrease the moisture of the soil. So it is incorrect, because the question asked here is incorrect. This also you have to keep in mind. Sometimes generally students do such type of a silly mistake. They have been asked not true and they take the true part. Okay, so just first read the question properly. In UPSC, you have to keep in mind that at least you have to read, take 2 seconds, 3 seconds to read question properly. It does not take much to read a question. Okay, so it does not increase the moisture of the soil. Okay, in case of stubble burning, we have to find a solution. We have to find a path. We cannot blame farmer for stubble burning. Okay, so they are poor farmer. Whatever money they have, they use for crop harvesting and all. They do not have much money left for this stubble management. So it is the responsibility of the government to do the stubble management. Even Pusa biodecomposer company, you can say that a government funded company has discovered a decomposer who will, you can say that, useful for this stubble burning. But still it is not adopted, or you can say that government is not promoting this. So this can be done to find the solution of stubble burning, so that pollution, or you can say pollution, can be stopped. So this stubble burning question can be asked you separately also, or can ask in relate with pollution. If UPSC is asking any question on pollution, they may ask that what is stubble burning and how it is causing pollution. So you should read this topic in detail also. Okay, what are the causes of stubble burning, how to prevent stubble burning and all. Okay, next is with respect to seawater, consider the following. Seawater is normally alkaline with pH value around 8.1. If you have read science, you know what is pH value. If pH value is 0 to 1, it is very acidic. If pH value is between 12 to 14, it is very basic, or you can say alkaline. That means pH value above 7 is base, and pH value below 7 is acid. So this you might have studied in science, basic chemistry. Okay, the question first asked is here in this is seawater is normally alkaline with pH value around 8.1. So it is correct. Seawater will be normally alkaline hoga. You know that there is seawater always salty. The next is seawater's freezing point is higher than that of a pure boiling point. Which of the statement are correct? Okay, so it is asking which of the statement is correct. Only one, that is one is correct. This is not the correct. It is seawater freezing point is higher than that of pure water. It is boiling point is lower. No, both is similar. Okay, so only one would be the correct. Next is which of the following are World Bank report? Okay, so again the same question is asked, that on the basis of report. Sometimes they will ask you the question with on the report, or they will ask that this report is released by which organization or which agency. Okay, in this question it is asked that we have given 3 reports. First is Global Financial Development Report, another is World Development Report, and next is Global Risk Report. So it is asking that which report is released by World Bank. The first and second report is released by the World Bank. This one, and this is released by World Economic Forum. So I have already said you have to read in detail every report which is either published by the government or published by any international organization which is related to UPSC. You have to read it is related, it is released by which organization or agency, or what are the parameter on which that report is released, because UPSC generally at least 2 or 3 questions based on report they ask, like World Happiness Index, Poverty Index. On that they will ask at least 1 or 2 questions every year. Okay, so that would be important for. Next question is, which of the following countries are part of IMT? Okay, it is India. In the name, it is in the name. It is only clear that it is India, Mozambique. Okay, this is and Tanzania. Three countries are that: India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. So 1 and 2. Can anyone tell me what is the exercise India and Australia, between India and Australia? Exercise between India and Australia is called, because this option is related to India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. IMT is a 3-country exercise, joint maritime exercise, which is related to India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. Since Australia is an option, so I am asking that the exercise between India and Australia is called, between, if it is a bilateral, it's Astra-Hind. And you know that India, Japan, and USA, and Australia, these 4 together, which exercise? Malabar. It is same exercise in response to Chinese aggression. That is, you can say Quad and all, which I have already discussed, Quad and all. So if it is a 4-country together exercise, that is Malabar with Australia, and if between India and Australia, it is Astra-Hind. Okay, and the question here it is asked IMT. It is India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. Okay, so that is a trilateral joint exercise. The option 1 and 2 is correct. Australia will not be the in the include. It is clear in the name also. नाम से clear लग रहा है IMT में Australia कहाँ से आएगा? Moving to the next. Okay, with reference to northeast monsoon, consider the following statement. About 75% of the country annual rainfall is received from southwest monsoon between June and September. Even if you do not know, you know that the majority of the rain we receive between these 2 months only, June to September. The rainy season in India is this only. So the first option is correct. Rest in detail you will read in monsoon chapter of geography. When geography teacher will teach you monsoon, they will teach you what is southwest monsoon, what is northeast monsoon, what is El Nino, what is La Nina. That everything will be explained there. The northeast monsoon, that is returning monsoon, you can say, occurs during October to December, cause less rainfall. It is in Tamil Nadu and that lower part of Western Ghat, they receive the rainfall during winter time. Rest of the country receive the rainfall between June and September. Okay, so sorry, means both are the correct answer. So both 1 and 2, C would be the correct answer. With reference to government e-marketplace, consider the following statement. Okay, what is government e-marketplace? It is a place where government lists its product. Okay, from there you can buy all the government product. Okay, there are various products which is made by the government. So this is a e-marketplace from where a vendor or can individual or a public can buy or procure product from the government marketplace. So it is an online platform for public procurement in India. Great. So you can product whatever the product made by a government like khadi and all. So that can be purchased from here. The initiative was launched by 2021. No, this initiative was launched by 2016. So this was the incorrect option. So only 1 would be the correct one. Oh, you can visit this portal, GEM portal. You can find so many product which is low cost product which is given by the government. With reference to typhoon, what is typhoon? A name of cyclone. You know that various type of cyclone like Katrina and all occurs every time and many times in different countries or Western countries. So it is a type of cyclone. The option is a typhoon is a mature tropical cyclone that develops between 180° and northern hemisphere, and northern western Pacific basin is the most acquired tropical cyclone basin on the earth. This again you will read in detail in geography. So you have to remember that type of cyclone and which wind caused that type of cyclone, from where to where it blows of degree and all that you have to remember. So you can read in detail in geography, but here it is both the option is correct one. Moving to the next, the president specify caste, races, and this we have already studied. The same question which we have studied previously, in which 340 and 341 both were given. So it is again the same. I think question is something you can say it is related to 341. That is, it is a simple thing that if anyone, so any caste, race, religion, president want to keep or categorize it under SC, ST, president have power to do that under article 341. जैसे कोई भी जाति है उसको हमको SC ST बनना है नहीं है या OBC है क्या है, ये सारे पावर प्रेसिडेंट के हैं और किसके अंदर है, वो 341 के अंदर है. सिंपल क्वेश्चन वाज दैट. नेक्स्ट इज Jupiter Neo Razor Pay. You might have see this all this payment gateway seen in the news is to be best defined as digital bank. No. Non-banking finance company. No. What are the non-banking finance company? Aditya Birla and all. Cooperative bank. No. It is Neo Bank. What is the difference between Neo Bank and digital bank? Both is working digitally only. They do not have a physical center and all. But Neo Bank do not operate individually. It will tie with some of the country in India. Suppose if these are the working in India, Jupiter, Neo, Razor Pay, it will tie with any of the non-banking financial company and then it will operate. Okay, so that is the difference between digital bank and Neo Bank. Digital bank can work independently, and on Neo Bank, government cannot put any regulation. Government will put regulation on its partner with whom it is tied up. But on the Neo Bank directly, government cannot put regulation because it is not existing also. They are not a company of India. They are from somewhere else. And it is tying up with some of the India's non-banking finance company or digital company and then operating in India. So Neo Bank would be the correct answer. And there is a difference between Neo Bank and digital bank. Okay. With reference to the strategic significance of submarine launched ballistic missile from Arihant, consider the following statement. Answer the question below. The first question option here is the submarine can achieve credible nuclear deterrence. What is this? You might be aware of that. India is a country who believes in that. We believes in peace. Okay, हम कहते हैं हम peace में believe करते हैं, शांति में. जब तक हम पे कोई आक्रमण नहीं करेगा, we will not do the same to them. Like in nuclear policy also we say that until unless Pakistan drop a nuclear bomb on us, we will not drop or we will not use a nuclear policy. When there is a debate that why India is not signing NPT, India says that under nuclear policy, we have already defined that we will not first use our nuclear weapon until and unless our enemy or other country use that weapon on us. So this submarine was launched to, you can say, to safeguard ourselves. That is, submarine can achieve credible nuclear deterrence. That means if a nuclear bomb is dropped on this submarine, it will have a deterrence, that it will not be destroyed or something like that. Next option is it is based on the strategic posture on first use. No first use. Yes. Why we are creating such type of technology? Because we say that no first use. Suppose someone is dropping bomb on us, so we have something that will that is able to face that. Suppose if I am saying that मैं पहले तुम पे war नहीं करूँगा और पहले ही war में मेरा मुंह फट गया तो फिर तो that is different. So we have to create some deterrence. So we are creating this submarine as a deterrent where a nuclear bomb can be faced by this, and even after facing that nuclear bomb, it can attack on the enemy also. So these had two type of system, that is launch ballistic missile submarine. Okay. So why means this question comprise of two things. Why India is creating this type of nuclear deterrent? Because India have a policy of no first use. So it is creating deterrence in case some country or some organization attacked on us, we can safeguard ourselves. Simple method. So both 1 and 2 would be the correct option regarding related to Aryan. Okay. Recently in news, Biljoy Emmanuel case related to which article? It is related to the two of the article, that is Article 19 and Article 25. I'll explain you what is this. Article 25. Okay. Recently, Supreme Court has said that that is in related to hijab case. Karnataka High Court has said that hijab is not essential in religion practice. So Supreme Court has coined a term doctrine of essentiality. Like doctrine of basic structure, it is doctrine of essentiality. So if something is essential, that is, suppose you say about religion, that is Sikhism. So we can say that Kacha, Kadha, Kripan, that is 5 things. We say that it is essential. So they can use that at any places. Even they are going to exam hall, they are allowed with that. Because it is essential practice in their religion. But if hijab is not an essential practice in Muslim law, if triple talaq is not an essential practice in Islam, so Supreme Court is saying that in such scenario, that Article 25 is not valid. That is, you know that it is a religious freedom. So that Article 25 is not exist, and basic essentiality will only be valid in basic essentiality. If it is essential in our religion, we will value Article 25. If it is not essential in your religion, we will follow the uniformity or the law of that school or something like that. And now, what is this Biljo ML1? Actually, earlier what has happened, there was a case in state where 3 boys have not stand during national anthem. So that case reaches Supreme Court. In that case, Supreme Court said that according to Article 25 and Article 19, we cannot force anyone to sing national anthem. But now Supreme Court is saying that doctrine of essentiality, if it is essential of law of that organization, you have to follow that. So the question it is asked related to which, it is Article 19 and 25. You can read the explanation here. The Supreme Court delivered a split verdict in Karnataka hijab ban case, directing the matter to be placed before the Chief Justice of India for appropriate direction. In August 1986, a Supreme Court bench had in Belgium and others versus the state of Kerala. So there is a case in the state of Kerala. 3 children, the name of the who did not join the singing of national anthem at their school. So they did not sing national anthem at their school. The court held that forcing the children to sing the anthem violated their fundamental right religion, and the fundamental right applies under Article 19 and what. Simple सा meaning यही है, simple कि ये केस पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास गया था और बच्चों ने नेशनल एंथम नहीं गाया तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था कि हम वी कैन नॉट फोर्स देम टू सिंग दैट. But in the hijab case also, it is a similar case. If a student is going to the school and they are saying that we have to, they will wear the, they will wear the hijab only, then only they can sit in the classes. Okay, so that is a means there is a conflict between institute and that student. The institute is saying that our code, your uniform code is saying that you cannot wear hijab in the school. So that was all about. Supreme Court earlier has given the verdict that it cannot be forced, so it is related to Article 19 and 25. Now Supreme Court is saying that it will depend on doctrine of essentiality. If it is in your essential in your religion, then organization cannot force you. But if it is not essential in your religion, then you have to obey the rule of you have to obey the rule of that organization. आपको उस organization का rule को मानना पड़ेगा. So whatever institute is saying, you have to follow that. So this case is all about that. Okay. Okay. Which of the following statements is not true with respect to Mahakal Temple, Ujjain? Okay. Many students comes to me that and say that, sir, in art and culture we read different type of temples and all. How we should understand that which question can be asked on the basis of that and which question cannot be asked? Remember, there is a hint that UPSC gave. Sometime if some temple is celebrating its 100th year, 75th year, 25th year, so that on that basis they can ask you question. Or some celebrity visit that temple, like Ujjain Mahakal. If Pradhan Mantri Modi has visited, even previous year there was a question that Pradhan Mantri Modi has visited a Puri temple. So such type of question is chances that they can ask you question on those temple which is celebrating its 25th year or something like that, or even celebrity like prime minister, president has recently visited those places. So such questions can be asked. So here it is question asked on Ujjain Mahakal, and the question is asked which is not true. You have to keep in mind the question it is asked which is not true. So according to means we have to find out regarding Ujjain Mahakal, and we have to understand which is not true. So early part of Meghadutam composed the 4th century, Kalidasa gives description of Mahakal temple. It is correct. Mahakal is the only Jyotirling facing west, while all other Jyotirling faces east. Mahakal is the only Jyotirling which is faces south, northwest, and while all other faces east. Okay, so this is incorrect. Okay, generally you know that there is a belief in our society that that is when we face towards south, it is the death marg, मृत्यु का मार्ग होता है दक्षिण की तरफ. So all other Jyotirlinga faces east, but since it is belongs to Mahakal, you know that Shankar is a god of death, so that's why it is facing towards south. Okay, so this is incorrect. Why? It is written west. It is not west, it is south. The rest two are the right one. The city of Ujjain was also one of the primary center. You know that Ujjain is one of the Mahajanpada. That is 16 Mahajanpada we study in class NCRT also, or in ancient history we read about 16 Mahajanpada. So Ujjain was one of the prosperous Mahajanpada. Avantika, You might have seen Bahubali, Avantika, and all that is Mahishmati, 6th and 17th century. Astronomers and mathematicians such as Brahmagupta and Bhaskaracharya made Ujjain their home. Yeah, it is correct. So A, C, and D is the correct, but since it is asking which is not true, so B is not true in this. So such type of question can be asked on the temple, but since we studied so many temples in our classes, so how to know that which can be asked? So that I have said you that on the basis of this they can ask the question. Next question is, consider the following statement. The RBI is the sole authority to decide and approve the design, form, and material of the bank notes in India. No, it has to do with in consultation with the government of India also. Although in the note there is a sign of RBI governor, but they had to consult with the government, or government had to consult with them and then print the note. Okay, so this is incorrect. The central government has the power to design the on the coin. Central government have all the authority. RBI role is limited. Okay, so 2 is the correct. That's why when you have 1 rupees coin, 2 rupees coin, or 10 rupees coin, there is no sign of RBI governor. So second one is correct. First one is incorrect. With reference to eco-sensitive zone, consider the following statement. You know that there are some eco-sensitive zone to protect the wildlife and all. So it is asking that which is incorrect in this. Consider the following statement, and yeah, it is asking which are correct. So land within 10 kilometers of the boundary of National Park Wildlife Sanctuary are to be notified as eco. Yeah, it is yes, correct one. The first one is correct. The permitted activities are commercial mining. Okay, no, it is prohibited activities, not permitted. So it is incorrect. This commercial mining, sawmills, this will not be permitted around eco-sensitive zone. This will be avoided. You can only do organic farming, or that is farming, and all activity can be permitted. Other activity cannot be permitted in eco-sensitive zone. So you can say that only first is the correct one. On the planet Earth, most of the fresh water exists in the ice caps and glacier. Out of the remaining fresh water, the largest proportion is found in atmosphere as moisture and cloud, is found as a fresh water lake and river, exists as a groundwater. So option C is the correct. You know that there is 97% water which is not drinkable. Only 3% water which is drinkable or form of fresh water which is available. So I have already discussed in previous sessions that if next world war will take place, it will take place for water only. So if we talk about this question, the correct answer is option C is the correct answer. So this was the first part of October. In next session, we will again come with second part October, and again we will cover 20 MCQ which is related to October current affair. So that's all. Again, we will come next session also. We will have 2 part of the sessions. First, we will discuss the current affair news of the last 7 days, and then we will move to the question answer. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have to ask something.
Yeah.
Sir, I was back testing the 2020, the recent prelims paper, 2022 March. So it was there was some question which was related to March current affairs. So there, when I downloaded the PDF of the Hindu, the 17th March, I guess there was the date, then it was not in that newspaper, but it was on the website of the Hindu. So that is why I was asking that the source, if you can just tell us the most authentic source, because the Hindu uploaded it on its site, but not in the newspaper.
Yeah, see, if you ask me, or my experience says, there are 4 things which you need to focus on current affair when you're reading current affair. First is Yojana magazine, because it always comprise of government scheme. So if you leave or anything like government scheme, that won't be good for you. You have to read all the schemes. So government scheme is the most way, and the most authentic source for this is Yojana magazine. So first source is Yojana magazine, where you can read the current affair. Now moving to The Hindu. The Hindu, again, the second term comes under The Hindu, where details has been explained in that, complete details, which are the news. And if you are saying that some part was not there in The Hindu, I don't think that there is something which is not in Hindu and UPSC asked that. Whatever trend from last 2, 3, or you can say 5 years, UPSC generally asks question from The Hindu, which is under The Hindu newspaper or something. So The Hindu is always an authentic source. Yeah, there is chances that some people read Indian Express also, So you can do what that there is some institute releases summary of the Hindu and Indian Express that you can read together.
So is it a book?
Yeah,
Summary.
it is a magazine type summary.
Okay.
Okay, so that summary you can find in the market of Mukherjee Nagar or Old Rajendra Nagar. So summary you can read from there. Government scheme, and the last one is we call yearbook. If you have not read it, don't try to touch it because it has to be started from October, November only. But if you have read on just going on, these three are the source: the Hindu, Yojana magazine, and the yearbook. Only these three are the source. If you are some from a Hindi student, for them, for English student, these are the only three sources.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So, thank you so much, sir.
thank you.